Hey everyone, and welcome to AMC Movie Talk for movie fans. I'm Chrisley Kennedy, and this is the show where we bring you the day's biggest movie news, and of course, we give you insight into what it all means. Joining me today is Associate Editor here at AMC, Miss Amirose Eisenbach.
Good morning. Hello, lovelies. So John is gone today. He's in Vegas. He's always in Vegas when he's not here. I think we can assume that by now. So he'll be back Monday, but we have a wonderful show for you today. I hope you enjoy it. Mwah.
He's partying, but we miss him. And we also have joining us today Trey Alexander from Fandango. How are you, Trey?
Hey, how are you? Thanks for having
Trey.
me. John, double down on black, please.
All right, guys, today we're going to get things started with this. Despite the less than spectacular opening for The Last Stand, Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger is actively trying to get back into acting. He recently provided an update on 3 pending projects that he will be involved in. Schwarzenegger stated, "We're writing Terminator 5 now. There are 3 projects being written that involve me. One is Terminator 5, the other is a Conan movie that Universal is doing, and there's a sequel to Twins, which is called Triplets. We all look quite different in that. The 3rd triplet is Eddie Murphy, so figure that one out." Amirose, what do you think of Schwarzenegger's pending projects?
I'm going to start with Triplets, okay? So when I first read that, I was just like, wait, what? And the more I think about it, I love it. I absolutely love it. It is the most obscure, wonderful thing. And Eddie Murphy, I feel like he hasn't had a good movie in so long. And just those 3 together, Danny DeVito and Schwarzenegger and Eddie Murphy, I just think that's going to be hilarious. Obviously very oddball, and it won't take itself too seriously, clearly. For Conan, I mean, I do think that poor Jason Momoa, I mean, the Conan that they tried to bring to the screen, it wasn't his fault. I thought he was a pretty solid Conan. Not to mention really, really easy on the eyes, but he's not a bad actor. And I think the Conan story is a great one, and obviously Schwarzenegger was great at it, kind of what made him famous. And so I would like to see him, and it sounds from everything I've heard about it, they're not going to, you know, it will be Conan the age that he's at now. So they're not going to try to change the story too much. And Terminator, please. I mean, Terminator Salvation was a disappointment to me. I thought the tone that McG set was cool, but the plot, there were just so many holes, overacting. Like, I really was disappointed by that movie. Terminator 2 remains one of my favorite movies of all time. I love the Terminator franchise. I love the story. James Cameron, like, I really like it. And I think with Arnold coming back to it is a really good step in the right direction. So, Governor, let's do this. I'm really looking forward to these projects.
Hey, you know what? I'm on the other side of the fence with this.
Come on!
Sorry, I'm not interested in any of them.
Come on!
My biggest bitch about all this stuff is I'm so tired of actors going back to stuff that they have no business going back to. I swear, if I see Rocky get into the ring one more time, which he's going to in another movie, I mean, good God. You know, I don't want to see another Terminator. I'm over it.
What?
Okay? I'm over it.
Come on!
Unless James Cameron's going to come back and direct it, okay, then I'm cool. And he's going to use his avatar technology to make Arnold look young. I'm cool. Conan, not interested. Not interested. I want to remember the cheesiness and the way it was when he did it back in the 80s, okay? And Triplets? Really? Eddie Murphy's looking for a hit? This ain't it.
It's gonna be so funny.
It's
gonna be so funny.
No.
I do see Conan. I can't say that I'm really excited about that film, but I do think the nostalgia of having him come back is great. But Triplets, it's gonna be funny.
Globby Conan. Have you seen?
The man is in good shape.
No. Look,
I wrote on a tape with the man.
65-year-old man. Yeah, he's in shape. You know, somebody's in shape is actually Stallone. That guy's just shredded.
Well, yeah. Slaz got it going on. All right, what's next?
All right, I'm just
Arnold has always said he'll be back, so
yes,
he said it
following
multiple
through.
times.
Yes. Muppets director James Bobin is in talks to helm the Alice in Wonderland sequel, operating under the working title Into the Looking Glass. Bobin would be taking the reins over from Tim Burton, who helms the $1 million grossing first film. Trey, what do you think about an Alice in Wonderland sequel, and do you think that James Bobin is the right man for the job?
You know, I don't know. And I'll tell you why. Let me throw down here. Look, I loved what Tim Burton did with it, but the reason I liked it was visually it was amazing, and in 3D, and just that was what was cool. There was a real cool factor. Now you're going to kind of take Burton out of it, and you're going to stick somebody else into it. I don't know if it's going to have that same flavor, that same excitement, that vibe. So that's my you know, like I'm up in the air. I think you've got a good director in Bobin, but I just don't know if it's going to have that same vibe and feel. So I'm on the fence with this one.
So you liked Tim Burton's?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I actually did. I enjoyed it. I think it would be, you know, it'd be probably a lot of fun with little wacky weed.
I'm a fan.
I definitely was disappointed by Alice in Wonderland.
Aww.
I thought visually it was stunning and really fun and whimsical world, and you know, I do love Burton, but I want to feel the love of the Edward Scissorhands and the other classics that he's made. So I don't know, it kind of just missed for me. I didn't think it was a failure by any means. Clearly $1 billion isn't a failure, and I understand why Disney wants to make another. And Johnny Depp, another perfect example of how he's kind of strayed away from the characters I love. His Mad Hatter was wacky and crazy, and I can respect his rendition, but you know, think about all the characters that he's played, of the pirates and this one, and it's just the Tonto coming up, and he's just so wacky in his makeup lately. And
Benny and June.
Well, yeah. I want him to go back to that,
Me too.
to the Benny and Junes, and just, you know, kind of get back to that. So I do think that, you know, James Bobin is a good director. Muppets is great. I mean, that's a very difficult task to appeal to younger and older generations.
Yeah.
And I love the Muppets. I thought it was absolutely charming, and he's doing the sequel. And also Flight of the Conchords, so good.
Yeah, the comedy element, you can't deny it. Yeah,
so good. So I do think it would be a completely different world that he paints.
Right.
So be interested. I don't really need to see a sequel, but if it's made, and it obviously will be, I'll see it, and I do think that he will bring an interesting spin to it.
We learned previously that Wesley Snipes, Jackie Chan, and Nicolas Cage were in negotiations to join Expendables 3. It's now being reported that Mila Jovovich is also in talks to join the cast, and that all four of them are officially in advanced negotiations.
Oh, yeah.
Amy Rose, what do you make of this expendable news?
Love me some Mila. Love me some Mila. Fifth Element, Alice, Resident Evil. Like, I just think she's a really great action starlet, and she's a hot babe. So I don't know what there is to argue about there. And Nicolas Cage, Wesley Snipes, welcome back from jail, buddy.
Yeah, really.
I'm really looking forward to it.
I got a job.
Right? I feel the same way about Expendables as I pretty much do with Fast and Furious. You're not in these movies for a crazy, amazing plot. You're in it for a fun time and nostalgic actors and cheesy one-liners, and so I do think this is shaping up to be another fun time.
All right, slow down there, champ. Let's not compare Expendables with Fast and
Really?
Furious.
You don't see striking similarities?
I see a better script in Fast and Furious, and a heck of a lot more interesting. Expendables, look, the first movie was the second movie was exactly the first movie, just in a different country.
Fast and Furious isn't that way?
What? Yeah, right.
Come on.
But it keeps expanding on the story. It keeps going, you know, so we want to see what happens to them. I just know that, great, what's number 3 going to be? Another mission in another country, and they're going to blow a bunch of things up. So
You just described Fast and Furious.
I'm just saying that if you're gonna put all these people, you know, into it, which I'm really excited to see, that trick was done on the first one. They did it again on the second one. It wasn't quite as fun. The third one, I'd like to see really a little bit more emphasis on a better script.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, like, okay, you got all the guys, you got the cool ladies, you got all this stuff. Now, let's do a good script.
But I don't think people go into these films thinking there's going to be a good script. No. Like Fast and Furious 6, fun time. I wasn't like, oh, it's going to be a great script. You know, like with all of these films, I kind of feel like you know what you're getting with them. And sure, more plot would be great, but I think it's still going to make a lot of money because people love seeing their old action stars on the big screen.
I love that they're the old action stars. I just wish they'd bring in some young blood. I wish we'd see a Jason Momoa, John, or some younger blood in there.
Cool,
and,
guys.
And maybe they will. You know, they did that in the first one with Helmsworth, so maybe they will.
Maybe they will.
Yeah.
Great. Well, we're now at the buy or sell portion of the show. Chrisley's going to read a couple other exciting film news going on in the world, and we're simply going to say if we buy or sell it. What you got for us, lady?
A new trailer and new poster have been released for Machete Kills. The poster features Michelle Rodriguez, who portrays She in the film, front and center. Amirose, buy or sell this new trailer and poster?
Buy. I thought Machete was really fun. I like Robert Rodriguez's style. I get that it's not for everyone, but I really like how he explodes this. It's like explosive realism, if that makes sense. Like, he just has very vibrant colors and scenes and characters, and I think he's a great storyteller. I'm really into it, and super violent, and hello, Carlos Estevez, what's up? What's up, Charles? So I definitely think, and Michelle Rodriguez, you know, she looks really smoking hot in that poster, and these are the kind of roles I like her in. I was speaking with Dennis, our wonderful production manager, the other day. Didn't really like her in Avatar. Those kind of films, you know, don't always work for her, but the Fast and Furious, these kind of movies where she's this badass femme fatale, you know, action chick, I'm into it. So I think this is going to be a fun time.
Yeah. Yeah, I buy 100%. I'm stoked. I just look. I love this. What I hope to be is a franchise. You know, we go on to a couple more of these. But I love the idea of Robert Rodriguez making fun of the grindhouse films. You know, the violent films of the '70s. I'm a huge fan of that genre, and I just think this one looks kick ass.
Yeah, and I love Quentin Tarantino as one of my favorite directors, but I actually liked Robert Rodriguez's segment in Grindhouse more than Tarantino's.
Absolutely.
He's super stylistic.
Yep.
I buy anything that has Michelle Rodriguez with a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Babes with guns.
Yes.
And Sofia Vergara.
Oh my God.
With the
She's funny.
A new photo has been released from the upcoming sci-fi film Ender's Game. The photo shows Asia Butterfield, who's portraying the title character Ender Wiggin, floating, and Harrison Ford playing Colonel Hiram Graff, monitoring by his side. Trey, buy or sell this new Ender's Game photo?
Man, I feel like a curmudgeon today. You know, I'm not buying. I'm not selling, but I'm not buying. I'm holding right now. You know, and the reason is because this movie just looks like what is it? Troopers. Help me.
Starship Troopers?
Huh?
Starship Troopers?
Thank you. Starship Troopers with a little bit of a,
Hunger
training
Games.
young kids. Yeah, like Hunger Games. You know, I just, I feel like, I feel like an interview with Harrison Ford. Grumpy.
Oh dear. Well, I'm going to buy it. Did you read the book?
No.
Okay, so I read the book, and it's
The book was written in 1985. Yeah, but we've already seen this kind of stuff before. I'm just saying it's dated.
Well, maybe this was one of the jet setters because it was so old, and newer things have been stealing from it. I think it's a really interesting story, and you did make an interesting comparison to Hunger Games, and I think that's true. Seeing these strong, children take on these really crazy, vicious roles and being thrown into these very adult worlds, I think is very interesting. And Asia Butterfield's a good actor, and Harrison Ford, I mean, come on. So I do think that, and the photo I thought was really interesting. I will admit that the trailer, I wasn't like, oh my God, this looks amazing.
Yeah.
Like, it definitely wasn't, but I also don't get too swayed by trailers either way because they can be really misleading and be the worst movie with the best trailer. So I am interested. The story is really interesting, and I think you would enjoy the read if you read it.
Well, that's why I'm on hold, because I don't know enough. So I
diplomatic
didn't
of you.
sell, I didn't buy, I'm holding.
Great.
Some groovy new set photos have been released from X-Men Days of Future Past. They show Michael Fassbender as the younger Magneto, James McAvoy as the younger Professor X, and Peter Dinklage all in 1970s threads. This photo of Dinklage, in addition to the Trask Industries photo that Singer released earlier this week, strongly suggests that Dinklage will be portraying Bolivar Trask. Amirose, buy or sell these new photos?
Bye. X-Men all the time, baby. I'm really excited about this, and I know that we thought that Dinklage could be Puck, and everything is definitely pointing to Trask, which would be really cool. And I mean, groovy is definitely the right word for it. James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender. I'm really excited to see how this one unfolds. And I think Bryan Singer, I mean, this is his baby. You can just completely tell that this is his baby. And yeah, Trask, bring on the Sentinels. Let's get crazy up in here.
Yeah, I'm a big buyer too. You know, just seeing Dink with the stash, man, rocking the '70s stash. I'm going, yes. You know, I'm really excited about this one. This one looks so cool.
The Imp. I mean, the Imp is the man.
Oh,
he is so good on Game of Thrones, on everything I've seen him in. So I just think
never
he's
lets
a great
me down,
addition.
ever.
Yeah.
No.
The interesting casting update for the Michael Bay-produced Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles continues. Whoopi Goldberg has joined the cast as Bernadette Thompson, who was originally Bern Thompson in the animated series, the boss of April O'Neil, played by Megan Fox, and Vernon Fenwick, played by Will Arnett. Trey, I think we know where you're going with this, but buy or sell Goldberg's involvement in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
No. No.
Wait, is that a buy or sell, Trey?
Look,
I think he's selling.
she's on The View. No.
Aww.
I'm not. It's her. Look, she ruined her career when she went on The View. Okay. Not that charm that she had when she was doing film.
Sister Act, Ghost.
Gone. Now she's one of these, you know, kind of curmudgeon-y, you know, thing. Listen, this is what I gotta say about Matt. Over it. No.
I'm also going to sell, if that's what just happened. Yeah, I'm sorry, Whoopi. I mean, you had your moment. I just, this cast is so bizarre. It's just so bizarre. And Michael Bay, what you doing? I know you're just producing, but you have been the spokesperson for all of this, not Leavesman. So all signs just point to bizarre. And not to mention, why take these sex change liberties again? You know, like, I was hoping they'd get like a Michael Chiklis or like a James Gandolfini or someone for that role. That would have been really cool.
Yeah.
But no, let's just throw Whoopi in there and switch things up. So I don't know what they're doing here, but
Whoopi can look both ways sometimes. If you think about no, I'm serious. If you look at pictures of Whoopi,
that's a good thing.
Sometimes she's very feminine and sometimes she's very masculine.
When is
so I think
Whoopi
it's
Goldberg
great.
feminine? Yeah. When has she ever been feminine?
I will find you some pictures.
Chris Lee, you're alone on the island on this
That's
one.
all right. I like it. I like my island.
All right, guys. So I had the chance to go to New Orleans, super fun place, to interview the cast of Now You See Me. Great film, magic heist. I had so much fun with it. I spoke with the amazing cast, Woody Harrelson, Morgan Freeman, and Isla Fisher. She's kind of my new best friend. She is literally the most adorable woman. I love her. I want to hang out with her. So we're going to play a little bit of my interview with her for you right now.
So that movie was so much fun. Such a great time, and you were great in it.
Thank you.
What I love so much about your character is that she was spicy but also very sweet, and she really held her own against basically mostly a male cast and your male troupe. What originally attracted you to this character?
I love the fact she was a magician and not a magician's assistant, which we so rarely see in movies. And I love the fact that she held her own with the guys, and was equal to them in terms of power, but was never adopting male characteristics or attributes to fit in. She was totally feminine at all times. And also she's just this thrill-seeking anarchist, and I just thought, what fun to go and do all these, to be an escapologist and to be part of this magical world. And, you know, it seemed like a different genre of film for me too.
So much fun. So what I think made the film so great is that you and Jesse and Dave and Woody had great chemistry on screen. What was it like working with this group, and did you guys have any fun rituals on set?
We did. We played a game called Handsies, or Fingers, depending on whether you ask Jesse or me. But we would put our hands out, and someone has to think of a finger, and the other person has to eliminate the other fingers. And it sounds stupid, but we used to spend hundreds of hours trying to guess who's thinking of what finger. It's embarrassing to even admit that.
So there was even a real life struggle between the assistant and the not anymore, right?
Exactly.
So do you think, given the state of special effects, how incredible they are now,
Yeah.
that it makes live magic harder to impress audiences?
Definitely, and that's why I was concerned when I signed on to this movie, how magic was going to translate. Something as old-fashioned and simple as magic was going to translate on the screen. But I think, I think it's as impressive as a CGI dinosaur, frankly, when you actually see the movie.
I love CGI dinosaurs, too.
Who doesn't?
So what was it like working with Louis? You know, coming from a lot of credits that are big, epics, large scales, and this was a lot more character driven?
Louis Leterrier is just the greatest director. He is the funniest man on the planet. He is endlessly enthusiastic and excited by every little stunt that you do, and he's so appreciative when you're willing to, you know, get into a water tank with piranhas or get up on the high wire. He's like, you can do it, Isla! Like, he's just very positive. I really loved working with him.
Good cheerleader.
Yeah, yeah.
So why do you think AMC theater audiences are going to enjoy this movie?
Oh, I think this is such an original movie. I think it's a contemporary look at magic. It's a great cat and mouse action thriller. It's got romance. It's got everything. I mean, honestly, I love this movie so much. If I went and paid money to see this, I would be over the moon. I want to see it again myself when I'm in the stupid thing. I mean, it's crazy.
It's a fun time. And who doesn't love magic and heists?
Oh, yeah, exactly. Well, you're selling it better than me, girl. Let's switch chairs.
Well, it's an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for speaking with me.
Great. So now you see me in theaters now. Go check it out. It's a fun time for sure. All right, guys, we are now on to Mailbag, taking our user-submitted questions. So, Chrisley, what you got picked out for us?
Fernando Corrales writes, "Hi, Star Trek Into Darkness is a good movie, and yet some fans say that it was disappointing. Of course, these are hardcore fans that can't accept a good movie with flaws, like The Godfather 3, Indiana Jones 4, Prometheus, and the Star Wars prequels, etc., to be part of the original movies that they consider to be perfect. Star Wars has the biggest fan base. Do you think that Star Wars 7 will have the same fate no matter how good it is?" Good question.
Yeah, Fernando, I think that's a really, really solid question. And I do think that, you know, the bar has been set so high. I mean, for a lot of us, not everyone, we did not like the prequels, so it was a little disappointing. But in a way that almost alleviate some of the pressure, because the last 3 Star Wars, you know, when I was taken into the world that I love so far, the galaxy far, far away, it definitely, you know, kind of opens the slate again a little bit for JJ to just be like, yo, we're bringing it back to the real deal, you know, where George Lucas first created this amazing world. And I do think that no matter what, even if JJ creates an amazing film, like you said, there's always going to be people that are nitpicky, that are like, oh, this wasn't as good as this, or they shouldn't have done this, or whatever. But I do have confidence in JJ. I think he's a fantastic director. And I liked Star Trek Into Darkness. I did. And I think he did a really good job. It was a fun ride. So those who did not have a fun time, what's up with you? What's up? So yeah, I think no matter what, not everyone's going to be pleased, but I do have faith in him taking over the reins. What do you think, Trey?
I really have nothing more to add, because you know, everything that you said, I completely 100% agree with. You know, JJ's going to bring a cool style and vibe to it, and I think that's a win-win no matter what. And you're right, the bar has kind of been set low enough to where I think that people are in anticipation of what he's going to bring to it, and I think that's, you know, I think it'll be a win no matter what. Yeah.
Avery Hinks writes, "Hey guys, love the show. I watch it every day. I have a question about Superbad and Pineapple Express crossover movie. There were rumors about it a while back, and I still love to think of the idea of the characters from these 2 movies coming together into one story. I think it would be so cool. What do you guys think about the idea of a Superbad and Pineapple Express crossover movie?"
I was thinking about this today, and Avery, let me tell you something. I'm going to let you in a little secret. It's happening. As a matter of fact, it's already happened. It's called This Is the End.
I was just going to say that.
And it's coming to a theater near you.
I saw that.
I mean,
last
are you
night.
kidding me?
Yeah.
It's exactly that.
Yeah.
You get all the, except in reality, you know, you get all these, all the cats are there, man.
Yes.
That's it. It's done.
True
It's
that.
there. It is.
True that.
So you got your wish.
I saw it last night, and it's really funny and nailed dead on. Like, it literally is all your favorites from both movies together and under their own aliases.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's really, really clever, really funny. I had a great time with it. And I mean, if they actually did Superbad and Pineapple Express with the characters from the movies, hell yeah, like, that's a fun time. Both of those movies were super funny and quirky, and yeah, why not? But you're right. This is
a great way of kind of making it work. If you were gonna try to cross those 2 movies, it's a perfect kind of funny way to do it.
Yeah,
if you think about it.
Absolutely. Well, that will do it for today, lovelies. Thank you so much for joining us. I'd like to thank our lovely host for today, Chrisley.
Thank you for having me.
The wonderful Trey from Fandango.
Thank you. Whoopi and Harrison, I was just kidding.
Thank you so much for tuning in. We want to hear from you. Jump in those comments. You know the deal. Subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. Not going to bore you with that. And we'll see you Monday when Boss Man is back in the office. Have a great weekend. See you soon. Mwah.